Today, an app called Granola put a meeting recorder on the Apple Watch. You tap a watch face, and it quietly transcribes the room, with no phone on the table and no blinking light for the person across from you to notice. It's a small feature. It also removes something you've counted on your whole life. You could always tell when a conversation was being recorded. That signal is starting to disappear. So when the microphone hides inside everyday objects, how are you supposed to know when you're on the record? This is the fine print from NoFlow. Start with the pitch, because it makes sense. Granola's co-founder framed the watch app as a way to catch an in-person or walking meeting without pulling your phone out. And it worked. The company says that when it tested the app, a big share of its recording moved from the phone to the wrist. Granola isn't a fringe tool. It reportedly reached a $1.5 billion valuation this spring. It's part of a bigger shift the industry calls physical AI, where the software leaves the screen and starts seeing and hearing the real world. The famous version is robots and self-driving cars. The version already sitting in your meetings is quieter. Camera glasses, listening wristbands, and pins that record your day and hand you back the transcript. Meta's Ray-Ban glasses, Amazon's $49 B-band, the limitless pendant, Otter, Fireflies, and now a watch face. The pitch is that these are the devices after the phone. Screen-free, hands-free, always ready. Now the fine print. Here's what all of them take away. The moment you know you're being recorded. It used to be obvious. Someone raised a phone, a red light came on, your own iPhone lit an orange dot when the mic went live. When the microphone is hiding in a watch, or a pair of glasses, or a pin on a shirt, that tell is gone. You're no longer told when you're on the record. You just have to assume you always might be. And there's a second half people miss. The person wearing the device may have agreed that whatever it captures can train a company's AI. Everyone else in the room agreed to nothing. So why doesn't the recording light just fix this? 2 reasons. First, a light only helps if you notice it, and if it can't be switched off. Meta's glasses have carried a recording light since 2021. Meta itself admits it's easy to miss in daylight. And people were beating it. A small industry grew up desoldering the light for about $60, so the glasses could record in the dark. On July 7th, Meta pushed a mandatory update that shuts the camera off if it detects the light has been covered or removed. Meta also said it would pull the listing selling the mod and might sue the sellers. It's a real fix, but it's Meta policing Meta. No law requires any of it. Second, the consent switch is live with the wearer. The pendant has one. The wristband has one. You, the person being recorded, don't. Now the pushback. There is real pushback on 3 fronts, and none of it fully closes the gap. Start with the courts, stretching old wiretap law onto new devices. About a dozen states already require every person in a private conversation to agree before it can be recorded. The rest of the country needs just one. In most of America, the person holding the device can record you and consent to the AI all by themselves. The test case is Otter. A class action says its note-taker recorded and transcribed people who never agreed and used it to train its models. California's privacy law allows $5,000 for every violation, which is what makes these cases enormous across every meeting. A judge heard Otter's motion to dismiss this spring and hasn't ruled. Whatever she decides will shape how every note-taker is allowed to run. Regulators are moving too, mostly starting inside doctors' offices, where Louisiana and Rhode Island now require notice before an AI records a medical visit. And then there's the one hard deadline. On August 2nd, the European Union's AI Act starts requiring that people be told when AI is interacting with them or reading their emotions. It already bans emotion reading AI in workplaces and schools, with fines up to 35 million euros or 7% of global revenue. But look at what even the strongest rule doesn't do. It forces companies to disclose. It still doesn't put a light back on the device. And the same month, Meta locked down its recording light. The Financial Times reported it was testing glasses that record continuously and snap a photo every few seconds, with executives said to have discussed leaving the light off while those features run. The safeguard and the prototype are walking in opposite directions. The old deal was simple. You could see the camera. The new one asks you to trust that everyone around you switched their indicator on. So the open question is whether the law should require an obvious, tamper-proof signal anytime a device records, and put that burden on the person recording instead of the person being recorded. Right now, mostly, it doesn't. That's the fine print. Why your news matters every morning. Free at noflow.io.